Hey, Delaney, I'll call you afterwards. I've got 2 calls that I've got to make afterwards, and then I'll call you, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Raise it. All right, then you're going to get my shelf. How's that? A little skewed. Okay, let's rock and roll. Do I have a script?
Yes. Script is sent.
Who are we starting with first? Delaney?
SOP. With Lance.
Let's go.
All right. So have a good show, guys. In 3, 2, 1.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman, and we're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Delaney's section reporting on Fraud Friday. Lance section reporting on the new SOP 5057-3 7A loan servicing and liquidation effective May 31st, 2023. Lance, today's June 2nd. Where's my SOP?
Well, first of all, we went for a year and a half with little or no activity, and all of a sudden we get a new 5010 and we get an announcement for a new 5057. And my old friend June Kim was the author of that announcement. And the nice thing is he did include what some of the changes will be in the 5057-3. I have to get used to that. And, the major changes, first of all, Bob, when are we going to see it? By August the 1st. No, I think we'll see it pretty soon so we can get ready for it. A big part of the change in the new 5057, guys, is changing some of the wording to meet the new 5010-7 things. One of the cool things is they are coming out with a new universal purchase package.
That's right. No more purchase demand kit. No more PDK.
Well, no, Bob. It is a PDK. It's just that now we have.
No, it's not, Lance. You are wrong.
No, it's a universal purchase package, Bob. What they had before is a different purchase package based on whether it was under 350 or over 350, or
the document has been renamed Universal.
Oh no, you're right, Bob. It's not.
I know I'm right.
It's not called the.
It's been renamed.
It's not called the 10 tab anymore, Bob. But I can almost rest assured there will be 10 tabs. From what I've read, it's going to be a little more user friendly. Will help us to be able to complete guaranteed purchases, and there's no more different 10 tabs based on the size of the loan. So that'll be nice.
Lance, can we use this now, or do we have to wait till August 1st?
I have not seen the universal purchase package yet, Bob. It's not been released yet. I just think they're going to consolidate the regular 10 tab that you send to Herndon and the 10 tab that you would send to Fresno or Little Rock.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And export and all of that. They're putting it on.
They're just going to have a singular purchase package for all SBA,
which makes sense.
Which is good. And there are going to be some changes in the SOP 5057. It looks like there's going to be when you have to submit it and why and when you have to submit it. Also, there's going to be some language about if you sell your SBA loans for less than par value, and they're going to talk and they're going to clarify, and I think this is good, the credit reporting requirements and whether or not you have to do a 1099-C and a number of other things. So I can't wait to get my hands on it, dive into it, and develop a presentation for everybody.
What does this mean? One of the more significant updates relates to determining lender compliance with SBA loan program requirements.
I think we're going to see a set of 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to try to define what lender compliance means. lender compliance is very important in the PLP application process and the renewal process on that. But it's just important to any SBA lender. So lender compliance has kind of been a nebulous term that didn't have a lot of definition to it, and it looks like they're going to define it.
Lance, we have no idea, but we know there are significant wording changes in the 5010. I'm assuming it's also going to be 5057 because it sounds like they rewrote these at the same time. So the same type of changes will be there.
Yeah, it's time for a significant upgrade to the 5057, Bob and Delaney, because it's been 8 years since we've had
That's
an
right,
upgrade.
2015. You're right.
So if it's significantly different, guys, let's not be shocked, because it's going to encompass 8 years of SBA lending and lessons learned during that 8-year period.
And it includes changes made for consistency with the new SOP 5010-7. And I guess they're trying to make them both the same. Lance, I know at one point in time they were talking about separating the 7A from the 504. Well, this is 7A, so this is strictly going to be 7A and not 504.
It's I'm going to wait to see the SOP, Bob.
It says 7A.
Yeah. I still want to see the SOP and see how it actually plays out.
Hey, as soon as we get it, or if someone out there gets it, send it to us, and we will send it out immediately whenever we get it. Also, this information notice is in your handout, so feel free to download that. We also have it on our website. And Lance, we're going to do a webinar on this.
Subject to seeing the SOP.
There you go. So we will announce that. We're going to try to do it. We're going to try to do it next week if we get it today, Lance.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll let you know on that, and we appreciate your support in that. Delaney, you've been awfully quiet.
Hello.
What did Mr. Faulkner do? And is he still working for SBA?
With this guilty plea and sentence and everything, I'm gonna have to assume he's not working for the SBA anymore.
I think that was a softball.
Mr. Lakeith Faulkner admitted his guilt earlier this year, or at the end of last year, actually, for his role in an $11 million idle fraud scheme. He was working with another individual, Norman Beckwood, and managed to help others receive $11 million. They received $2.3 million in kickbacks for helping with all of these. According to the charging documents, this was not in the press release, so I'm not 100% sure if maybe this was cleared, but they said they received $25,000 to $55,000 from each individual.
And how many people did they assist?
It actually did not give us a clear number, but I know in the charging documents, I believe it included just an example with 10. And that was just a few examples. They stated there was many more.
Math, it was 50,000. Well, that was the amount of the kickback. Average idle loan, Lance, would be what?
Oh, you've got I don't know, Bob. The idle program, you could have a pretty good size idle loan. So I'm not sure what
it sounds like. We'll go with 40 or well, if you got, we'll do the other way.
Probably 40, 50K.
Yeah, probably between 50 and 75 people. It sounds like that. You did that. Lance, I don't understand. You worked at SBA. Don't they have systems in place to ferret this out? The answer is no, but why not? That's a better question.
Well, I think a big question I have is, where did Lakeith Faulkner work at SBA? I wonder if he worked in the disaster center, where he probably would have been a little more skilled and knowledgeable about the idle loans, because they're disaster loans. And Bob, it's like any fraud in idle, PPP and other parts of SBA lending. It appears that they were coaching people in the application process, and then getting a more than significant agent fee from that process. So it appears that they were coaching. I'm not sure, guys, how would SBA find out? Well, somebody somewhere raised their hand and said,
Finally,
this is wrong. And
Delaney, it appears they did not go after the borrowers in this situation. Is that correct?
That is correct. Only the two individuals that helped.
Interesting.
so I guess the question I have too that's interesting, Bob, is were these legitimate idle loans where they received more than allowable fees?
I can't give you a straightforward answer. This was a relatively quiet case with not a lot of details.
Good analysis.
But it seems, I don't know if it was being inflated. I want to say it implied maybe there was invalid information in the documentation, but hopefully we might see more when Norman Beckwood gets sentenced. I'll try to update you later.
Yeah, and I know Delaney, we got the original documents. There are very few. By the way, Delaney, he's out of Mississippi, correct?
Yes, I believe Holly Springs, Mississippi.
Right. So is that, Lance, is that a disaster office or is that?
Well, there's one nearby, but it's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, no, he was indicted in the Mississippi courts. It was interesting. How many years did he get, Delaney?
Over 5 years. He got 62 months.
Yeah, and this is a Kariegi type dollar amount of fraud and also the sentence, but it's a very quiet case and didn't come on our radar until we picked it up on the DOJ press release, and the file is very thin, so we don't have a lot of details. We don't know what type of cars he got.
Hard to know. That's there are a lot of questions that need to be answered on this one to help us understand, but it doesn't appear that we got.
Oh, he was a fraudster. He got $11 million. They got kickbacks, and he's going to jail for 6 years. I mean, how much more do you want, Lance?
Well, I mean, I have to wonder, perhaps, I guess, why was it worth it? You received $2.3 million in kickbacks split between two people. He's got to pay $10.6 million in restitution.
Yeah.
So that was what, 5 times more than he even earned?
That's a financial death penalty. Absolutely.
Restitution's nebulous. That just means the guy's bankrupt for the rest of his life.
Yes, it's a financial death penalty. Well, very good, Delaney. And you had asked the question, and I'll throw it out there. Lance, we really don't have, or Delaney, we really don't have that many instances of SBA employees committing fraud.
No.
And so to the agency's credit, it does happen, but not as often as in the lender community.
Well, SBA does a pretty strong job of vetting their employees. Delaney can tell you stories about when I went to work for SBA and black SUVs would show up and interview neighbors and people that knew me growing up. So it's SBA does a really excellent job
Lance,
of vetting.
why do you assume that was SBA? I'm just asking.
Oh, it was they were doing my security check, Bob.
As I said, what?
It could have been others. Who knows?
There you go. That's what it's sort of what
I think SBA does a pretty good job of vetting their employees when they bring them on board. Doesn't mean that.
And also, Lance, did you have to fill out an annual financial statement of potential conflict to list your assets with the agency? Did you have to do that?
I did not.
Okay. Because I know other government officials have to do that if they have authority over something. Well, very good. Good reporting on that. Let's see what else we got here. We got Mr. Brockman.
Yes, he was a bank branch manager of U.S. Bank in Kansas City. On my birthday, actually, on Tuesday, he was charged in an 8-count indictment and arrested. And he got caught up for aiding another individual who's been charged in a separate indictment for quite a hefty fraud scheme. This other individual applied for $27 million and received $12.5 million in PPP loans. So this banker, Mr. Brockman, was helping get these through, helping with the forgiveness process, all of that, and he was receiving some gifts in exchange. I'll start with the car. I know that's your favorite part. A 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe. And then he also got championship game tickets for the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills.
I hope it was a
Don't know much about sports, so.
Well, this guy's from Kansas City, so he's absolutely a Chiefs fan. So that was not that fraud is ever okay, but he let his love for the Kansas City Chiefs get the best of him.
Well, yeah.
I will say, the fraud didn't end there. He also got in trouble for applying for unemployment benefits, allegedly. So
After
got 5
he
pounds
was
for that.
indicted. Well, he was unemployed. I don't know.
He was still employed at U.S. Bank.
Oh, and he filed. Interesting. Well, that's it's difficult to get away with that.
He also got hit. I will tell you the one last part of the story with money laundering. He actually signed an affidavit giving the Tahoe to a charity that his wife ran. He transferred the title, but he continued driving it. So that is the last of the 8 counts.
Wow. Sounds to me like the IRS might be coming to see him after they take a peek at his tax return with the charitable contribution of the Tahoe.
Well, a branch manager of U.S. Bank has got to be making a decent salary. I don't know what tickets go for, but they're not. But the Tahoe, he may have gotten a 4 months salary in exchange for that, and now he's out of banking. So, and he's going to be going to jail.
Bob, I'm Googling the price of AFC Championship game.
Let's see. We have this is a project that Delaney and Lance and I have been working on. We are releasing it. This is for your new employees on teaching them what is expected of them in the relationship between SBA and the lender. We have this in 12 sessions. It's about 2 hours long, 8 to 12 minute bite-sized sessions. We've designed this for your new employees. I've looked at some of the first, I want to say podcast modules, and they look very good. Joseph, what is your ETA on having this all done?
It's up and running now, so it's available now.
All 12 sessions?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I only saw 3. Okay, very good.
Hey guys, just so you know, a standard nosebleed section ticket is $584.
Well, I hope you got better tickets than that. That's
So how much is a Tahoe? Anybody know?
I was going to say 20,000.
Oh no,
That
a
seems
Tahoe.
like he ultimately got
A
less
Tahoe
than
21,
100,000 for this
brand new.
scheme.
Okay.
The 2021 Tahoe's at least 60,000.
This is a webinar we're doing with our friends over at Biz2X. They're talking about their platform they have. This is a free webinar. Please sign up for it. And they're doing some pretty cool stuff. And what this does, even if you don't, they'll talk about their platform, but it also exposes you to the platform and what you should expect from a platform. So even if you don't go with them, this is a good introduction for that. And they're specifically for not only SBA, but conventional underwriting. That's going to be on June 21st. Sign up for that. That is free. And our friend John Winnick is doing one on banking crisis, specifically CRE lending. It's very important what's happening in that. That is also a free webinar. And John does a great job on that. He's had former Federal Reserve Bank officials, and I don't know who his lineup is on that, but he gets great reviews, and please take advantage of that. If nothing else, it'll expand your knowledge in terms of what's going on with commercial real estate, and we all read stuff on that, and this will bring that definitely into focus.
Absolutely.
Well, very good. I believe that's it. Everyone have a nice weekend. Thank you for joining us today for Coleman Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time.
Have a good weekend.